Hello, this is Katie, and welcome to the second half of the video. So, the information architecture of these are things. So, information architecture is the framework that we chose to look at the site through. And information architecture is basically the discipline of organizing information so that it can be found later. And so, it's not so much about the visual look of the site, but how are things organized within the site. So this could include things such as the search features that are on the site hierarchy, how many levels are the hierarchy, how broad is each level, menus and menu options, what words are used in the menu, are they descriptive of what actually happens when you click through them, as well as the use of categorization and tagging. So speaking of categorization and tagging, a quick look at the blog for these are things. So the blog page itself is very clean. At the top of every blog, you have a little icon, you have the date and the title of the blog. And down at the bottom, you have some minimal information, who it was written by, what category it goes under, and how many notes it is. So some things that you see that are on the blog page that you're sort of missing that are normal conventions to see in other blogs are things such as tagging. It does have the category here, but usually tagging would allow you to attach multiple categories that are a bit more detailed than just work. It doesn't have a search feature, and looking around the site, there's also no archive of the blogs too, if you wanted to go back and look, say, like at a specific month or something. So just a few more words about the categorizations down here. It's kind of an interesting thing because if you look through the first couple pages of the blog, the categories are work, travel, and life. And they're very broad categories. So if, for example, sometime in the future, I wanted to go back and reread their blog post about the National Stationery Show, I could find it by, remembering what category is in, but the categories are so broad. I remember it's a work show and that they had to travel to it, and I guess it relates to their life too. So the categories aren't actually super helpful there. So another part of the site too, looking at it through that information architecture lens, is the work section of the site. So in this section, we have the different categories of their work. And as you click on the categories, it populates the circle sort of button things down here with different things depending on what category it was. So again, we have a very visual style. It's very clean and minimalist in the amount of words that it has here. The categories sort of overlap each other in the sense that you might have a poster that was used for advertising, in which case it actually makes it easier to find because it's under both sections. However, one place where maybe the style of the site kind of impacts findability is just also with the minimalism. So we have these four things that we could click on here to click through and see their example of their work. But if I'm interested in a specific subject or a specific type of infographic or something, I don't really know from these pictures what information I'm going to get when I click through them, or what the work is actually going to look like. So it's a little mysterious or kind of vague in that way. It's playful, but it's also, kind of imprecise as well. So some research questions. With some of the things, the site is kind of generally organized more for browsing than for finding specific things. Which, since they're a business, it could help them if you could go onto the site and find things a little bit more easier, a very specific thing. And so the question is, could you kind of change the site incrementally to add some of those information architecture enhancements onto the site without changing that minimalist style that is so clean and like aesthetically pleasing? A second question is, how does that style of the site, with having like the home page with them as little like cute icons, how does that impact users' perception of their brand? What does it make them seem like, and how is that different depending on the different people that you could ask? So that is all we got. Thank you for watching.